Hey, this is Nagpal for iGyaan.in, and today we are going to be unboxing the new Micromax Canvas Doodle 2. Now this is a revision to the original Micromax Canvas Doodle, which was essentially a take on a cheaper variant of the Galaxy Note. Now the Canvas Doodle 2 builds up on that and it really focuses on the build quality. The price on the box is 22,900 rupees, but we expect it to come to market for under 20,000 rupees. Let's quickly go ahead and unbox the Canvas Doodle 2 and take a look at what's inside the box. So inside the box of the Micromax Canvas Doodle 2, you'll find a USB wall charger, the flat style USB cable, flat style earphones and in-ear tips, the user manual, warranty certificate, SAR compliance certificate, a two-sided steel stylus, the magnetic flip case, and the Canvas Doodle 2 itself. The device looks pretty interesting, and this is the front. Let me quickly get rid of the plastic from the front over here, and then we'll take a look around the device. So on the bottom you have 3 touch capacitive buttons. Over at the front you have a 5.7 inch 1280 by 720p display. Now this is not the highest resolution display, but it looks fairly nice on the new Canvas Doodle 2. You also have a front facing 5 megapixel camera, a couple of sensors and the earpiece up top, the 3 touch capacitive buttons for Android at the bottom of the device. The power lock and unlock button is located towards the right of the device, whereas the volume rockers are on the left. On the top you have a tab to pull out the SIM card cover, and you have the 3.5mm headphone jack. On the bottom side you have the main microphone along with the micro USB charging and data syncing port. On the back you have a 12 megapixel camera that will shoot full HD 1080p video. You also have an LED flash and a secondary microphone. The back is a unibody style design, and you will see a lot of metal being used on this device. The finish on the stylus will match the finish on the back of the device. If you remove the back cover, which is essentially only a SIM card cover, you will see the 2 SIM card slots, the SIM1 slot and the SIM2 slot. Only one of these is 3G enabled. You can also see the Micromax logos and the speakerphone at the bottom. So let's go ahead and power on the new Micromax Canvas Doodle 2. So this is the main interface of the new Canvas Doodle 2. As you can see, it is running Android 4.2 out of the box. If you take a look at the all app drawer, it's fairly vanilla, the overall user interface. It doesn't seem to be customized at all. The viewing angles on the display look good. You can simply pull down from the top and look at your notification panel, slide your notifications out of it, or you can just press the button to get rid of all the notifications. Use 2 fingers to pull down and directly jump into toggles. And if we quickly jump into settings over here, go to about device, we'll be able to see that it's running Android 4.2.1, which is essentially Jelly Bean. What I'm trying to do now is see what the multi-touch scene is on this. So I'm getting about 6-point touch, about 7-point touch. That means that this device should be around 10-point multi-touch, which is fantastic. Now this is not a real test. We'll be doing a real test later on, but this is just a quick look. Now if you look at the dialer, it's been nicely customized. You can see that a little bit of customization for the dialer. You can use this. You can use SIM1 or SIM2 to initiate your voice calls. You also have a Doodle app that is pre-installed on the device. Essentially supposed to be an S-Note sort of application, but the Doodle app requires a SIM card for you to start using the application. So I'm going to be showing you this app in a later video. In the meanwhile, just to test out the stylus, I'm going to check it out on the Evernote Sketch. Now we have 2 styli on the same stylus. So you have a softer side, which is bigger and softer, and then you have a stiffer, more firm stylus, which is the thinner side, which is a little more convenient for, say, scribbling text, etc. If you're going to be coloring or drawing, you would like using the bigger side. Now the device feels really robust, and the stylus looks really nice with the device, but we would have liked if the stylus was actually fit into the device somehow, something like what we see on the Galaxy Note series. So if we would have liked that if the stylus would fit into the device. Let me quickly pop in the flip case that comes with the Canvas Doodle 2 inside the box, and you'll see that the flip cover is really nice. It fits on the device really well. They've also made these wedges on the front for you to convert the flip cover into a stand. You don't have a magnetic area on the flip cover where the stylus would fit. So that is a big disappointment. I really don't like the fact that they haven't made it convenient for you to carry your stylus around. So it's something that you can lose easily, and it'll be practically impossible to get a spare stylus for the Canvas Doodle 2 is what my expectations are from this. So in terms of using the stylus, this is going to be really inconvenient because you have really no place to keep the stylus. Whereas on the Canvas Doodle 1, you could at least attach the stylus to the 3.5mm headphone jack. Now you can prop up the case in a stand position, and you can also prop it up in a vertical position. So overall, this case will be a multi-purpose case. Not only will it protect your device from the front as well as from the back, it'll also be useful for propping the device up in a stand position, which could come in really handy for those who are going to be using this large 5.7-inch screen to watch videos, etc. Now if you look at the camera, you have very basic camera application. You have normal mode, HDR, beauty face, panorama. You have multi-angle view image. Then you have your scene mode, you have your smile shutter, the best shot mode, and you also have something which is called the EV bracket mode, which lets you do exposure value compensation while you click an image. So only a couple of basic shooting options. So more or less the same camera app that you saw on the Canvas 4 is what you see on the Canvas Doodle 2. So not a lot of customizations done over here. You can go into detailed settings and you can set up information like GPS location or geotagging of images, the image properties, color effects, the scene modes. You can also choose between white balance. And you can also set up the detailed image and video settings, including time-lapse effects, electronic image stabilization, etc. You do have autofocus on the rear camera. You don't have autofocus on the front-facing camera. So let's quickly stream a video and see how it looks on the new Micromax Canvas Doodle 2. Now, the screen on this is really nice. You have great viewing angles. So we're pretty happy with the screen that Micromax has used. The speakerphone seems to be loud enough, and we're happy with that as well. If you talk about detailed specs, we have a 5.7-inch 1280 by 720p display, a MediaTek 6589 chipset with 1.2 GHz quad-core CPU, a PowerVR SGX 544MP GPU, 1 GB of RAM, and 16 GB of fixed inbuilt storage. We would have really liked the new MediaTek 6589T chipset on the new Canvas Doodle 2, but Micromax seems to have left that out of the picture, which is sort of really disappointing. The keyboard is a stock keyboard, so you don't see any sort of customization in the keyboard. You also do get emoticons and you can add images, etc. You do have a nicer version of autocorrect, which lets you choose between options, which is improved version of autocorrect, but that is something that is inbuilt into Android, and that is not something that has been done by Micromax. When you put it in landscape, you get a wider format of the same keyboard, so no difference over there, but you can replace the keyboard on the device with any keyboard from the Android marketplace. Now here is competition for the Micromax Canvas Doodle 2. The Galaxy Mega 5.8 is the closest when it comes to screen size. So you have a 5.8-inch display, whereas you have a 5.7-inch on the Canvas Doodle 2, whereas the Canvas Doodle 2 has a 720p display, so 1280 by 720p. The Samsung Galaxy Mega 5.8 has a QHD display, which is 960 by 540, and a much lower screen density as well. The chipset on the Galaxy Mega has been designed by Broadcom, whereas you have a MediaTek chipset on the Canvas Doodle 2, which is a quad-core chipset. The chipset on the Galaxy Mega is a dual-core. For RAM, both these devices have 1 GB of RAM. The cameras on the Micromax Canvas Doodle 2 are 12 megapixel and 5 megapixel, whereas on the Galaxy Mega 5.8 are 8 megapixel and 1.9 megapixel. Both these devices run Android 4.2, whereas Samsung has customized the Galaxy Mega with TouchWiz. You don't have any customizations on the Micromax Canvas Doodle 2. The Canvas Doodle 2 does have a steel finish back, unibody sort of design, and aluminum back, whereas the Galaxy Mega 5.8 is completely plastic. So a lot of advantages and disadvantages over both devices, but then again it comes down to the user and how they want to use their device and what is a better option for them. The other benefit on the Galaxy Mega 5.8 is that you do have expandable storage, whereas you have fixed storage on the Canvas Doodle 2, which can be a big disappointment for users. We will be back with benchmarks, gaming, an in-depth comparison between these two devices, and the final review on the Micromax Canvas Doodle 2. So stay tuned for that. If you have any questions, queries, do drop them in the comment section below. Catch us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/iGyaan, youtube.com/iGyaanTV. For iGyaan Networks, this has been Bharat Nagpal. Thank you guys for watching.